Bust this.
Welcome to Table Talk with Nikki G the Voice, where we bring to you highlights of entrepreneurs, leaders, organizers, and much more. A broad spectrum of professionals, including chefs, artists, designers, musicians, and much more. Our show is a new brand of talk shows where we educate, bring transparency, and last but not least, fun. Table Talk. Get ready for our seasons, a roller coaster of emotions, all wrapped into one. Caribbean style. We'll cover our Caribbean roots as well, so keep it locked. Welcome to Table Talk. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and iTunes.
Own it, girl, you just own it, 'cause your body's on fire. Show me how to control it.
Everyone, welcome.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and iTunes. Table Talk.
2020. This is our second or third show.
Wait, did you say 2020?
2020.
2022.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna cut that out. It's like I'm still stuck in 2022. We're in 23.
We're in 2022, hon. Mm-hmm.
But then I said 2022.
You said 2020.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
I'm cutting all that out. That's too much. That's too much thing. Okay.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Table Talk with Nikki
and Juliet.
Yeah. This is our second show or third show, whichever one you guys had looked at.
I think it's our second.
Yeah, well, second show that we aired, and we have like a couple of series, mini series that we're putting out there. But welcome back.
Welcome. Yay.
So today we have Miss Diamond, also known as Angela Weeks. She's an awesome individual. She's very talented. And I met her, I think like at least 2 years now. I've known her, so she's going to be coming in a few. And
okay. So before she comes on, Nikki, how was your week?
My week was amazing. It was extraordinary. It was productive. This pandemic has shown us so much, right? And it's allowed us to do so much. And in a way, I'm kind of glorifying technology because it allows you to work from home now. I've always wanted to work from home. And it allows you to work from home much more, even though you're kind of like glued to the computer and you have to stay there. You have certain things that you got to do. But otherwise, my week was very interesting, connecting with friends. And, it's been a great week. How was yours?
Mine was a bit slow this week. I had a lot going on in terms of family, but it went by, to me, it went by slow. And normally my best friend, like I have to big her up. Elaine, big you up. Bloop, bloop, bloop. She's usually, she's one of those that rushes the week. Like it's Monday and she's like, oh, I can't wait for Friday. And I'm like, why are you rushing my week?
Yeah.
But this was one of those weeks that I can tell you, I wanted it to rush into. I was like, let's just rush and get this week over with. But I must say that towards the ending, obviously, me and Nikki hung out, had fun as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And so it turned out that my week ended with a nice little bit of a bang. And of course, you guys always make my week, end with a bang. So yeah, big up.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining our YouTube page. If you haven't joined our YouTube page, it's Table Talk Show .nj or Table Talk Show with Nikki G and Juliet. Once you put that in, you will get our YouTube page. And we've reached, it's been, let's say like 7 months into the time that we started, and the amount of shows that we did and the communication that we had and the artists reaching out to us as well as we reaching out to people because of their beautiful stories,
Yeah.
and talents. So
yeah, we met some wonderful, wonderful people.
yeah.
And I'm saying I'm not even going to miss any of them out. Each one of them, I enjoyed hearing their side of the story. They all came with something original to the table. And it was really, really nice to be a part of that, right, Nix?
Yeah.
I mean, we kept going at the end, and we're like, we should have cut that short after 3 hours. But but it was so interesting that we couldn't help it. So I think that was the difficult part of all of this. When we're doing the editing, saying to ourselves, okay, enough of the story, we're going to have to cut it at some point. But we want it to go on and on and on. So thank you to all our guests. We really enjoyed each and every one of you.
Yeah. And if you're viewing this now, just make sure and click that bell. So whenever any of our shows come out, you're not going to miss anything. You could go back and see series from before, our specials that we did.
Yeah, and subscribe.
Exactly, like and share.
Yeah. Come on, guys, let's get our ratings up.
Otherwise, how's everything going, Juliet? Like, what's been going on so far?
I mean, well, we've working from home. Working from home is a lovely thing, but it's also a thing where you're home by yourself. I've said that so many times.
Yeah.
And even though, at work, you still do your own work, and you get interrupted so many times throughout the day, and someone can drag you away from your work. When you're working from home, you sit there and you work and you work and you work. And you yeah, I always wanted to do that.
Yeah, it could be kind of boring, and then to the challenge of not going on your bed to go back to sleep or something like that, depending on where your office is, because some people have like a bigger space, some people have smaller spaces, depending on where you have it. I like to go in the living room and stay there because it allows me to focus more. So it depends on what
I actually get into a routine. I get up, wash my face, brush my teeth. I change my clothes. I won't jump in the shower. I'll change my clothes and I go downstairs because I want to feel like I'm not in my bed or, relaxing or lounging, because otherwise I will relax and I will lounge. So I do change my clothes. I go into the office. I'm in there pretty much all day. And sometimes you forget to take a break. You got to take a break.
Yeah.
You got to take that break. Otherwise, you're going to do yourself an injustice.
Exactly. And at what point do you go to take a shower?
No, there's a routine.
Yeah.
If you call me around 12:30 to 1 o'clock, I'm in the shower. That's lunchtime, by the way. That's lunchtime.
Right. Yeah.
So I take a big chunk of my lunch time is me in the shower, and then I quickly grab something and I'll eat it. Yeah. Sometimes I'm watching something, or listening to the news or something, and I drag over by a few minutes. But because I don't take any breaks and stuff, I don't see anything wrong with that, and then I keep it going.
I experienced it this time because the last project that I did, and I worked from home, because of me being able to be flexible in the house. Just to wake me up, I would go take the shower because I'm used to going to work early in the morning. So I'd go take my shower, I'd eat something really quick, and then I'll jump on the computer. But then I'll be doing a lot of things, Yeah. But this particular one, once you get on at 8 o'clock, you can't get off until it's your lunch break. So I experienced that 1 o'clock, shower thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I experienced it.
What time do you go and get a shower? Listen.
But I had to ask because, we have people looking who is like, wait a minute.
and don't be, the reason I change my clothes also is because sometimes there are meetings and they want to see your face. Yeah. And it's nothing worse than to be showing up in your night clothes and you look all rough like you just got out of your bed. So I take off my pajamas and put on clothes that is in the house, and I go on down. That's how I do it. It wakes you up too. It does wake you up. It puts you in a different frame. Yeah, from my frame.
Yeah.
So, man, that's what we do. But the other downside to working from home, and I want viewers to understand that, is you don't see anyone and you don't really get any interruptions. But that's number one. But number two, as a single person, when you're going to work, sometimes you're around and you see people and you're like, oh, he's cute. Or, you check people out and what the hell she got on? You do that though. We're human, and that's what we do. And so there's human contact. Like if she don't move over, in the seat. I'm always cussing in my mind. You sit down and they're taking up all the seat.
That's when you're in the office. I miss that.
Yeah, when I go to the office, when I used to go to the office, gosh, it's been so long. When I used to go to the office, those were my hard time days where you're checking people out, you're cussing people who put their bags on the seat because there's no reason. And then you're like, move over. And I wiggle my way in. Yes, I do. People don't cuss me out though, thank God. But I miss that sometimes.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. But so our previous show, we had goals, right? We had goals. I said it was goals, is not resolutions, because I don't really like putting resolutions, because everybody is like, oh, you do resolutions at the beginning of the year and stuff like that. I call it goals because I write them down, paste them out, and I go to, how I would like to do my things. So we did a little series. As I said, go to YouTube and you'll see it. We did something where Juliet went to the chiropractor.
Yes, right. Chiropractor. All right.
Juliet went to the chiropractor, and I, in a previous show that we have, you'll see me in the gym, but we're going to be showing you different things that we're doing as the time progresses throughout the year, of different things that we're doing. One thing that we did talk about is work, different things that people do in order to make money. Right?
Yep. Yes, we
talk
did
about that, and Juliet had mentioned about savings and all that show in one of the shows. So one of the things that people are doing now that you could think about, Juliet, is what we spoke about it sometime.
What with working? You mean with doing side hustles?
Side hustles. Yeah, side hustles. Yeah.
There's so many of them out there. Even obviously the main one that everybody knows is selling your stuff. That's one.
Clean that up. We don't sell our stuff.
I say selling your stuff, I mean selling like your old bags. You got shoes, selling, you got items, clothing, items that are in good condition. Don't try and sell the ones with the deodorant stuck on it though. But you sell them on different platforms. And you get, it's a way to get in a little bit of money, just a little bit. That's the easiest one. You got eBay, you got Poshmark, you got so many different platforms that you can actually sell on. And it makes it very, very easy. And so if there's something that you're good at, like some people are good at art, you can sell it on these platforms. Yeah, Etsy. How do you say that? Etsy is another platform. And you go on that platform and you sell your art. So you could just be doing something like candles. There are so many people who make drinks. I wouldn't put that out there, but anything that you do, you can pretty much sell it. Nowadays you can sell, anything but yourself.
You could if you put it in terms of selling yourself, like how we do voiceovers. So you could sell your voice.
You're selling your voice. Yeah.
You could do stuff like that, sell your voice.
Even as far, I've heard people say, somebody has written a book. I take that book and I put that book on some kind of a platform of virtual book type of thing. And I can sell their book for them without them saying yeah. I was like, what?
Without them saying yes, so how do
they don't have to? They don't have to say yes or no. I just take their book. I make my own label for that book, and I sell their book. But you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but yeah, the copy. But you're not changing it. You're not saying that it's by me. I'm saying it's by the person. So Nikki G wrote a book. I take Nikki G's book. I change maybe the cover, but it still says Nikki G. It still says your title, and I resell it. I resell it as an ebook, as an ebook. So when it's time for you to buy it, they buy it from me, I buy it from you, you send it to them, and it's like I don't quote me on all the way it's done.
And without the person knowing that you're selling that,
Nick, as you know, the way I've created it is you wrote a book. You don't need to say yes or no. What do you care? So long as your book is sold, right?
But are you getting the funds? Are you getting the funds?
Yes, you're getting. Nikki G is getting the funds. Okay. I'm adding on a little bit extra. So let's just say I add on $2. So you're selling it for $18. I sell it for $20. So I then turn around and I give them it on ebook. So I giving them the same book. It's just an ebook now. So there's different ways people can do, and they invest. Another way is another investment. I mean, guys, you got to really look into all of these things, but it's all over the internet. And some of them make me go, and some of them make me go, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. That's just too much. Yeah. But a lot of the copying and pasting, I think, why not?
So welcome back, guys. We were just speaking about the things that you do while you are, that's creative, that you could sell books, you could sell your voice. There's so many different things that people do while, they're at home. So we would like to welcome you, Miss Diamond, to our show.
Hello.
So Miss Diamond, as we introduced, she is from the island of
Dominica. Well, that's a big question. It's so weird. I've had to answer that question so many times and have a whole, biography behind it, because Dominica is home for me, as in I was raised there with my grandmother, but I was actually born in the Virgin Islands. So
that's where I got that from, because I was about to say Virgin Islands.
I was born there, and it's crazy because I feel like I'm my probably not my next song, but I'm actually writing a song called Island Baby. So, to bring kind of all of that to life, because my mother is from Dominica, my daddy's from St. Kitts, I was born in St. Croix. So I'm just an island baby. Yeah, right. That's a mix up, right?
Yes. Right? But have you gone back to revisit any of them, even though you've been here and where you live and so forth?
You know what? Great question. I'll be honest. I left St. Croix when I was only 5 years old, and I had never, ever been back. I was a grown woman, and I had finished high school, finished college, and I knew nothing about the Virgin Islands culture at all. I just knew that there was the Virgin Islands, but I was, an American kid who kind of spent my adolescence, from age 12 to 16, in Dominica. And that's kind of where I got my culture, from, so to speak. So I knew nothing about the Virgin Islands. Oddly enough, music brought me back to the Virgin Islands. I wrote a hit record song, and, my song, ironically enough, somebody from Trinidad sent one of the, legend, music ambassadors of the Virgin Islands, Daddy Jones, to me to write a song. They wanted something different, and it's so weird. I had never even took to VI music, because their soca is different. First time for everything, and it was a challenge for me. And I happened to just write a hit song on a major record, and it went to Soca Monarch, my first time.
Nice.
Yeah. So they flew me in, and I was like a big baby on the plane sobbing when I saw St. Croix. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So it was amazing time. Like, Daddy Jones took good care of me. the entire crew, the radio station, it was amazing. And I stayed down there for a whole month, and I was like, man, I gotta come back. So since then I've been going, frequently, just to visit. So
very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. I'm sure it must be it felt like going home. I mean, for me, when I see home and I'm around home, it just envelopes you, and it's a love that you can't describe. But exactly. After a while you do miss it and come back.
yeah, you do. I was so excited. Like the first time I went, I was super excited. Like, oh my gosh, like, I went there to work, I went there because of music, and I was able to promote my own single and everything, on one of the major rhythms as well. But I was so taken back of the beauty, and, every island is different.
Yeah.
So I ended up wanting to, I had too much fun, and I missed a performance. It messed up another performance, and I was just not sleeping, and oh man, it was a mess, but I had a good time.
Oh my God! But what part?
I had a good time.
Which part of your vacation did you like? Like the beach, or
gosh.
did you,
the food?
See, I'm a water girl, right? So I love the beach. I am the type of person to pack 1 or 2 pair of jeans and the rest is bathing suits. So every single day I was at the beach. They got tired of me in the beach. I was like, can we go to the beach today? So the water, and the food, like, come on, the food, like, it was amazing. So I was just like, man, I wanted to tell the world, like, go to the Virgin Islands, So, yeah.
Nice. So then did the pandemic slow you down in any way then? Because I know COVID was a hit. Some people it did amazing, and they just ran with it. They just changed and kept going. What about you? Did it slow you down in any way?
I would say yeah. But before COVID, I had already taken a music break. So for me, it was just like, it gave me a little extra time to recoup, rededicate my focus. And, oddly enough, that's what inspired, my new single, about, it's Right Day, but the concept behind the song came from COVID. So it did slow me down quite a bit. And I have a business called Island Things, big up to that. And yeah, so I have an apparel company called Island Things. And it slowed business down, it slowed production down, but as with everybody, the message that I'm promoting is we got to do with what we have for right now, so.
Yeah. And how did you, since you're on the topic now, but I wanted to step back a little bit, but Island Thing, what is it about? Just tell everyone what is it about. And then we're going to have your information scrolling at the bottom of the link. So everyone could know. Before we were actually speaking about things that people do business-wise in order to make money, if you have, so.
So it started as an apparel company. I wanted everything though, and I'm going to be bringing everything on board, cosmetics. I have a whole line of cosmetics getting ready to roll out under the same brand, accessories, it just, the theme is all things island. It was easier to launch the shirts because t-shirts, quick way, to get the word out.
Yeah.
And I originally designed like one shirt, and then people was like, whoa, that's nice. Whoa, that's nice. I want one of those. So it just kind of took over a thing of its own to now where I'm actually designing, producing, printing on my own. So that's what I did during COVID as well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I love it. The stories that is coming out of it, so you've got more creative.
Correct. Like finding all sorts of things that I didn't know I could do. And oh man, it just went from one thing to the next, having the free time and the energy because you were resting. And, at the time when COVID first unveiled, I was in Boston. So Boston was shut down, like, curfew and the mayors and the troops outside. So we were inside for about 3 whole months, like most of the Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
Back home, they mean business. They say inside is inside. You better be inside.
Yeah. Yeah, Grenada was like that.
Boston. Yeah, exactly. When they say inside, you better be inside, or else your butt is going to jail after you get beat up. Okay, so
That's
Boy.
true.
so exactly. So for me, that's where all my creativity, started just bubbling, and I was like, man, like, one thing tapped to the next. So I want to keep that momentum going. The just the culture, all things island, all things culture.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful.
So then, and then did you start writing? Do you write as well? Do you write?
Yeah, so I do. I do write. During the pandemic, I didn't really write a lot. I'm kind of a on the spot writer.
Oh.
So I like that's. I believe and I know that writing is my gift. I'm very good vocally, but writing is my gift, that God gave to me. So writing for me, I'm very, very different. I'm just what you call an oddball. One time Giselle, the Wasi one, joked with me. She was like, listen, you're just too talented. She's like, all the talented ones just have a little oddness about them. So that's my thing. She always says that. She's like, Diamond, you're kind of weird. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So I typically don't even listen to a rhythm. If I get production from a producer, I won't even listen to the rhythm unless I know I have the time. Because if I listen to it and I'm like, yeah, right away, I'm reaching for a pen and a piece of paper. And like in an hour, I have a song. So that's my thing. And it's weird. And that's what got me to the VI too. When I sent the song back so fast, he was like, he was like, you sure you write this? And I was like, yeah.
He didn't believe. But
it's just a vibe for me.
You kind of strike me as, and don't get this offensive or anything like that, but you strike me as Shensia, Megan Stallion type of vibe where you could rap, you could sing, you could do so many different things. Can you rap?
Man, you don't even want to hear my rap record. I have touched a little bit of everything.
You see?
To be honest. Musically, yeah. Like musically, back home in Dominica, they used to be like, yo, that's Missy. And I used to be like, oh God, no, I'm Angela. But, I challenged myself with everything. I actually recorded reggae before I recorded soca. How I got into soca real quick was kind of based on a bet. It was somebody who was like, you want to sing soca? We know you can sing, but you're too American to sing soca. I said, okay. I was like, okay, watch me. And a few years later, that same DJ had to come back and apologize.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I'm that kind of person. I always, I challenge myself. So even with the writing, it's like, if there's no vibe, if there's no chemistry, I'm not doing it. And I kind of run into a lot of issues with, fellow musicians, because some of them are just like, music, they call it grinding. For me, if there's no chemistry, I want no parts of it.
True.
I have to be able to put my name behind the production that's good, the writing that's good, XYZ. So that's just me. It's not cockiness or arrogance. And I've lost friends because of it, because I've had to say, you're good, but you're just not ready, and then they get in the booth and, I've, had to kind of rough them up a little bit and say, like, if you want, you want to sing, you got to sing. Like, you can't come in here and just do a little thing. I can't give you no bypasses because you're my friend. So some people they don't understand it. They don't get that, but it's, it's how you have longevity, in other words.
Yeah.
So then my question comes about as, then what do you prefer? What is the best part of you? If you could only pick one part, whether it be writing, whether it be singing, whether it be whatever, what is Angela? Which would you pick?
The stage, hands down. I would give up everything else for the stage. Why? Because in real life, I'm very I'm social, but I'm very, mindful of my social ability. So I don't get out much, I don't do much. I don't do big crowds. And over the years, the promoters have gotten to know me. Like, they know me. Like, if I'm booked on a show and I'm coming, I kind of like to do pictures, signings, meet and greets before, performing, because I draw my energy from the people. So
Mhm.
once I do that and I meet the people that's here to see me, I go into work mode. Like I can't let these people down. You know, I hit the stage and it's just me. And then once that's over, I'm out of there. Like I've done my job and I'm ready to go. That's me. I don't like lingering, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. I find a
Nice.
lot of artists say the same thing. They don't like lingering because of people's expectations, what they might want from you on the spot, you know.
I agree.
My question, well, I'm still trying to get to when you were like 6, 7, when you first started. So let's go there first.
Okay.
And I'll try to remember the one that I wanted to ask you now. So going back, when you first realized, you know what, I really want to get into music, or where did it start first?
For me, I think a lot of my musical capabilities come from trauma, to be honest. You know, since this is a talk show, I'm open up a little bit from trauma. I had some childhood trauma. You know, my dad went away to prison when I was very young. I was 5 years old. So that for me was my healing. So I took to music as a getaway. And it wasn't long before I figured out, like, I had some of the favorite, you know, artists like Toni Braxton. Oh, Toni could sing dirt, and I'm there for it. You know?
She is one of my favorites.
Oh, I don't care what she does. Like, I'm there. I'm there for it. So yeah, so Toni and later on Neo. I love Usher, like you know, Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson. So, you know, these people came a little bit later in life, but one artist I adore to pieces is Celine Dion.
Yeah.
I love her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Celine Dion. You know, back then I liked Michael Bolton. I listened to Jim Reeves. You know, these were the things I was into. Bon Jovi, Whitney Houston, Madonna. Like, so that's where a lot of my inspiration for music, period, you know, came from. Like, oh wow, this is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but at what point did, you know, like somebody said, wait, she can sing. Like you're in the shower.
Good question. I was probably like 11, 12 years old. I was in Dominica at the time, and I have a cousin. Her name's Noreen, and Noreen has the most beautiful voice in the world. Like she's a first generation cousin. Like after her, it was me, and that's it. We don't know where the music went in between. But I used to sing with her, and one day she was like, "Oh my God, like you have it, you know?" And then I was like, "Really?" And I kept singing since then. I didn't tap into my writing until I was a little bit older, until I actually went to record my first record. You know, I started getting noticed in high school, and they would be like, "Oh, Angela can sing. Angela, do this hook, do that hook." And I literally became like the hook girl on the rappers, you know. Oh, I was singing all kind of junk, you know, and just to be singing, you know, just to be in the limelight. So it came from that. And then when I wrote my very, very first song, I was in the studio with Banger Productions, and Banger said to me, "I'm leaving this rhythm on. You know, when I come back, have a song." And I was like, "What do you mean have a song? I don't know how to write. What are you doing?" And he's like, No, you can write. You can write. Just because I was in the studio with them recording someone else, and I'm all in the person's song, you know, singing the words like, "Oh yeah," you know, freestyling. He was like, "Oh, okay. Here, take this pen and this piece of paper." And he gave me like, I wanted to like 2 hours. Came back and I had a song, and they were like, "Angela," and that was it. The rest of it, writing just kind of took off from there, and performing and singing kind of took a back seat, you know, which brings me to today. I was like, you know, I used to sing before I used to write, and I want to get back to that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So when you're performing, or if you have to, you know, how Caribbean people usually says like, who's here? Trinidadian here, you know, this here, that here, Virgin Islands, whatever. You're like 3 different islands. So which one, or 4, I should say. So which one would you say my people? Like, you know, even though we don't necessarily say my people, even though I say, you know, Trinidadians, but Caribbean people are big on bigging up each other.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So, but Do
Absolutely.
you claim to be one particular genre? Not genre, sorry. Island when you're picking up people?
Not necessarily. Now, I always, I mean, if I have to say it, you know, and I've been put in this predicament so many times. I've even seen like where their chat rooms online, and they're like, she's from Dominica. No, she's from Virgin Islands. I always go to Dominica first because that's where I identify. That's home for me. If I go to Dominica right now, I don't need nobody to take me home.
Yeah.
I don't need a taxi. I don't need nothing. But if I go to Virgin Islands, I gotta kind of feel my way around. Like, hey, what's this? You know, what's that?
Yeah.
So I try not to be too much of anything. You know what I mean? I just kind of go with the flow, and I'm very honest and open about it because there's so many people in the industry, like so many people, like even some of your biggest stars from Trinidad who weren't even born in Trinidad. They were just raised there.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's true.
Some of them come from Antigua. Some of them come, you know.
Yeah. Like my daughter was born here. Of course, I'm Trinidadian. Her dad is from Kenya, but she relates to Trini. Yeah. She's like, no, I'm not. She's like, do I have to be American just because I was born here? I was like, yes, Janine. I'm like, you're American.
You're American.
She was like, no, everything, her bags, when she go to play soccer, everything is Trinidad, you know? But now she wants to learn the Kenyan language because she didn't know it when she was growing up, you know? Yeah.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. Just like the VI people, a lot of them know Spanish. Spanish is required in their curriculum in school.
That's good to know.
So I only knew bits and pieces of it, you know. But you take me to Dominica, you want to speak Creole, you want to speak French. Where I'm from in the country, we don't really speak that much English. My grandmother didn't speak much English at all. So,
nice.
Learn, yeah. So, hi everyone. We're live with Miss Diamond, aka Angela Weeks.
Hello. Thank you for saying my real name. I know. You know, because so many things that my name is behind that people don't even know. Like, that's Miss Diamond. So now I vow to keep my name and my stage name. So you're going to know that it's me, wherever you see me.
Yeah. It's very important, I think, because especially if your name, as you said, is behind products and different things, you know, people would know you for, let's say, if Juliet's doing voice and Juliet's doing photography or anything like that, like how you about to come out with cosmetics and stuff, you have already your brand. Yeah, you know, it's good to have both.
Oh wait, say your brand again, Angela. Let's say your brand before we start singing.
So I'm just gonna sing a little piece from my new single called Right Day. Just give y'all a little taste of the hook, you know. Maybe some of you have heard it, maybe some of you haven't. So
would you like me to
hear it, you know, it's me.
Would you like me to play a small part of it so they could hear the original?
Yeah, we can play it after I sing it.
Okay, all right. Take it away.
So it goes on. So right there, we're not leaving here tonight, not without a fight. Right there. We're not begging nobody, but singing for free. Right there. Look how you hold on my bumper, jamming me thunder. Right there. Yeah, so you could go ahead and play it. Right there. That's my new single. And basically the concept behind this song is basically, you know, COVID shut down. COVID has disturbed. COVID has slowed down, you know, for everything. A lot of people, especially in the Caribbean, Carnival for us is culture. And we can't have Carnival, or they're giving it to us, you know, in a way that we don't want it. Most of us don't want it. But at the same time, I understand the safety is important. So the concept of this is just do what you can with what you have. Right day. If they say you could have 5 people on that shed, call your 5 friends and be like, yo, right day. Hey. That's it.
If they say you have to be in the pod, in the stadium, right there.
Right there. Get a bottle, get a spoon, get a pot, put up a speaker, Bluetooth, you know, something. Right there.
And do it right there. All right, so I'm going to play it so everyone can hear.
All right.
I
Very nice.
Hey, right
Thank
there,
you,
right
thank
there.
you, thank you, thank you.
Angela, could you tell everyone where could they find you on social media so they could go and find that song, if they could download
Absolutely.
it, SoundCloud, and so forth?
Absolutely, yes. We're streaming live on all platforms. iTunes. We're streaming on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon. You name it, it's out there. All you got to do is type in "Right Day," RIGHTDEY, Miss Diamond, and you will find it. On social media, my handle on IG is at Blue Angel Army. Exactly how it sounds. Royal blue is my favorite color. And anywhere else, you Google or you search Miss Diamond Soca, you have to put Soca in there, okay? So you can find me on YouTube like that, SoundCloud like that, on both of my pages. Miss Diamond Soca could find me anywhere. And my Facebook is my regular name. As what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg wants us to use our name. My name is Angela Weeks.
Nice.
Yes.
And what you guys missed, because before we were private on Zoom, and we brought Angela out in order to give you a little taste of her singing and stuff like that, the introduction. But the show is going to come out very soon. So make sure you go on tabletalkshow.nj on YouTube and click that bell, right, Juliet?
Yep. Just click the bell, subscribe, share, like, everything. Do everything.
That's right. Make sure you're sharing.
Yes, and we'll definitely have all of Miss Angela's information in the comments, so you can just link right to her as well as to us.
Right there.
Yeah, right there. And she's also not just a singer, she's a businesswoman. She has her products. Yeah. Angela, you mentioned the products. What is the name of your brand?
Yes, the name of my brand is Island Things, and it's spelled EYELAND, like where your eyes land. Island Things, TINGZ, and you can check us out on islandthings.com, but you have to spell it exactly how we speak it. Island Things.
Exactly.
Nice.
So nice. in reference to you singing as an individual, have you done bands? Like, have you worked with bands?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I miss band. Like, I'm here in Florida now. I've been here like a year, and that was one of my, my whole family is here, but that was one of my main reasons and the most thing I was looking forward to being here. But again, COVID, everybody spread out. It's like it's hard to find musicians that are into the craft like they used to be. Yeah. So when I first started in soca, I was in a band called Pressure Band, and they're right here in Florida. But I went solo. I stayed with the band maybe around 4 or 5 years, and then I'll never forget. One day we were playing at a place called Tropics Live, and Denise Belfon was there. And
the queen of soca.
Wow.
The queen. I admired her so much. Like, we performed with her on the road, and she came to me and she was like, "Miss Lady," she's little. Yes. "Miss Lady, you have a set of pipes on you. Let me tell you something. You better use it." I was like, "Yes, ma'am. She said, I had to turn around and say, "Who is this girl with this big voice?" And I was like, "Thank you. So that was like the moments of, the exciting moments. You got to meet so many people, in passing, and I performed with so many different artists from all genres, lots of reggae, like, Serrani, and I got to do Taurus Riley show one year, and it was
Nice.
amazing.
Really? Very nice.
But yeah. It was a lot, but now it's like, spread out. So my hope is that I could find some musicians here to start a new band. So if you are in Florida, please link me. That's my goal, and we'll see what happens, with that. So.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
you
because
said
I
that
know with the no, I was just
Go
going to
ahead,
say,
Jen.
because with a band, when you're working with a band, it's so much energy coming from the even the instruments. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh, man.
whole new force coming at you all at the same time.
Yeah, and hearing your record live with live instruments, ooh, like have you ever been to a Taurus Riley show? Like, this band sounds just like the record, like. So I've always been amazed at that, like, live music, the fans, just vibe. Caribbean people just have so much vibe.
We
like,
do.
we're just full of vibe. So I
Yeah.
love that, yeah.
What do you feel about Steel Pan? Have you ever had Steel Pan record your music or even try to play it or anything of the sort?
It's funny that you say that. So I'm in the works of I've never had it done, and I love Steel Pan. Steel Pan is big, in the Virgin Islands, huge. So I've seen a lot of that when I went.
Yeah.
When I went there for music, a lot of it. I plan at some point, because this song, it's kind of like a comeback song for me, and it's taken off so fast. Like, it has gotten in the hands of people that that have me questioning to this point.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, how this song get to these people so fast? Like, that was quick. So all good reviews, and I'm so grateful because I was so nervous. And everything has changed. And I literally just wanted to come back and be me. Like I tell people, I'm chill, I'm laid back. I want to be that to my fans and that on stage. I don't want to be extra, I don't want to be naked. None of that stuff.
Yeah.
I just come to hold a vibe. I come to vibe with you. I come to sing for you and, nice up the place. And then, thank you for support and to help me to support you, through my music. And then I go, on to the next place. So Steel Pan is something that's in the works. We are planning to do a unplugged version of some of my songs, even some of my old songs. But so we're gonna have the musicians come live. The producer who produced this rhythm, shout out to Stretch. Amazing human being, amazing producer. I literally heard this record someplace else and liked it and tracked him down.
Oh wow.
And I was like, yo, I went to him and I was like, I was so nervous. I was like, my name is Miss Diamond, and I heard your rhythm and I really liked it. I was wondering, how much, would it be for me to get it? He was like, Miss Diamond, I know you. Yeah. Then I started feeling real stupid for trying to steal this man rhythm to write my song real quick. And I was like, I can't do that. So then he was like, no. I'll make you a whole new rhythm. And I was like, really?
Wow.
I was like, how much?
Just like that.
And just like that, conversation went just like that. This man had the rhythm to me, I want to say within a few hours. So he had the rhythm to me within a few hours. As soon as he sent it to me, I went ahead and I recorded that same night. I went, I literally woke up and was like, I'm doing a song today. And it just, no obstacle, no nothing. I didn't speak it. I just got up and I just did it. And few hours, he had the rhythm to me, got in the booth, recorded it, stayed up all night, recorded it. I was like, I'm doing this tonight. Sent it out the next morning to Banger to mix and master. And I had it the following day to release. So 3 days between production, writing, recording, mixing, and mastering. That's unheard of.
Oh,
unheard of.
That's a lot because it takes a lot to do those things,
It's unheard of. And so many airs it has to go through before. So my nervousness was coming from, oh my gosh, this didn't take me a week. This didn't take me 2 weeks. How's it going to sound? What are people going to say? Are they going to, are they going to be like, oh, groovy again? We tired of groovy. Man, let me tell you, when I put that record out there, I was like waiting for the backlash. every single person, every single DJ, everybody was like, Angela, we almost forgot you could sing, girlfriend. And I was like,
Wow.
That shows you what you should be doing, babes. That's what it is. That's confirmation right there. Yes.
Man, say it again. I'm so, like, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. I stumbled, I hit my toe, I fell down, I got up, and I was like, I ain't singing no more. I'm done with this. And I literally, like, it's like almost like a spirit just jumped into me that day and was like, get up.
You gotta
and I got up. Yeah, I got up and I had a song. I was confused after, and I was like, what? Yeah. And everybody who supported me was like, listen, we know you. We know how you are. We know you're chill. You know, at some point when you kind of reestablish some things, you know, well, we'll expect the bigger superstar, but for right now, be simple, be yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And we don't even care. We just need to hear you sing. And I was just, man, I was grateful.
See, that's when people respect your craft. That's when people respect your craft. They know the talents that you exude, and then you have the confidence. So it shines, you know, instead of being timid and not doing what you feel that you like, and then not being able to, you know, but you have the right people in your corner as well. And you made a name, so people know what you give.
Yourself. And then on top of it, you know, you're supersonic talented. Sometimes the same people who are the talented ones don't know how talented they are. And for you to accomplish what you accomplished, man, what?
Very true.
You better pat yourself on the back, turn around 5 times, and tell your neighbor.
Thank you. Yeah, so now I'm pumped, and I'm like, okay, I got the ball rolling, and I got to keep it moving. So I'm back recording, you know, back writing. I didn't even have to ask. I have like 50 rhythms right now, and I had to stop at number 5.
Wow.
I had to stop at number 5. Like, you know what? I don't want to hear no more. I like this one right here. Let me write this one. I'm gonna go on to the next one, and that's how I'm working right now.
Keep on working. Yeah, because when I first knew you, right, and we started speaking over the net and stuff like that, and you were singing, and then all of a sudden it was just like more convos. And when you said that you're singing again, I was like, oh yeah, she does sing, you know?
Exactly. People literally forgot, you know, and it was like, for years it had became, you know, but you need a song, but check Diamond Day, boy, check Diamond. And then I was like, you know what? I've written so many songs, and some people come to me and be like, Miss Diamond, you can't remember me? You wrote this song for me? And I'm like, sweetheart, I am so sorry. I remember the song. I don't remember this particular song.
But so do you
I've written
a lot?
Go ahead.
But do you see it as a lucrative business as a writer, or more as a singer in a way? You know,
a writer.
Lucrative for you as a writer, even though you were like in the background?
It's more lucrative for anybody as a writer if you know the business. Now, remember, I was young. I wasn't taught this craft. I just knew how to sing, and I just wanted to do music. So I roll with the punches. So a lot of things I didn't get paid for. A lot of, you know, there was one year I had two records in Soca Monarch at the same time. And, you know, and, you know, having, you know, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, you know, so when it comes to money, if you know the business, you know, it's good for you, but it's not easily, as with any craft, you'll get taken advantage of. And, you know, I have to be honest, that happened to me a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of records that I didn't get recognition for, a lot of records I never got paid for, because I thought it was just, you know what I mean? It was just fun. Like, oh, I like this. So it became, hey, Diamond, you know, write this verse for me real quick. And, you know, next thing is on the radio. And I'm, you know, but Diamond, thank you. So.
But they do have, how should I say? They have websites now. If you say that this is what you've done, they work with you and they go back and backtrack. But, you know, I'll tell you that on another time.
Right.
But they do stuff like that. So you could claim the music that you did.
Right.
Even if it's vocals and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. Like with Caught and certain things, you know, like certain people did treat me nice, you know, and I got to witness Soca Monarch, and, you know, it was pretty cool. And I got some good vibes from some of the big names, you know, like, you know, Bungie Garlin, you know, it kind of bigged me up. Like, yo, this girl is talented. She's not even from here. And she wrote this record. Like, you know, this should have win road match. Yeah, I was grateful, you know, I was grateful. I don't know if you guys know Michelle Xavier from Image band back in Trinidad. So
I know her.
You remember with them, if you know, if any of you guys are watching, you know, Image was a legendary band, you know, and big band. Like if you know soca, you have to know who that is. And I was so honored. Like I was like, they sent you to me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, I can't help you. Like, yeah, and never even met her. Penn, you know, fetting for days, like the same day.
Oh, really?
And
wow.
Yeah, fetting for days. Oh, yeah, we fetting on night.
Yeah, that was a big hit. A big hit.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it. Like that was another wow moment for me. Like, did you see the Soca Monarch? Did you see the stage? Did you see the people? Like, whew. I don't even know her. Never met her. So that's the case for me for a lot of records that I've written. And then after that, you know, they had taken a break. And then basically when it was brought to me, it was like, you know, we took a break. We need a hot record. We need a comeback song. And I wrote that song for her and hit it out the park that year. So I did that. And then after unfortunately they broke up again, and then she wanted me to continue writing for her in private. And I was like, you know, they asked, but I you know, the loyalty in me was like, I can't do that. You know, I knew you because of your band, and you know, I apologize. Maybe later down, but right now it's kind of conflict of interest. Yeah. And then later on that year, I went on to pen Like Glue for Ricardo Drew. That went to Soca Monarch in his country as well. Remember, he was in a band too.
Yes.
Before he went solo.
And then.
Correct. So they needed a breakout record for him. You know, I'm going solo record for him. And it was Friction Production who sent the rhythm. I don't even remember how that transpired. I don't remember. I want to say it probably came by ways of, you know, Patrice at the time. I can't even remember, but you know, everybody was involved because we had the same management for a little bit, you know. So they hit me up and I was like, again, me? Like, I can't help this boy. Like, what you like, I'm trying to help myself. I can't help this boy. and sent me the record, and groovy record, and I was like, whoo, okay. They sent it for me, wrote it one time, sent it back. Nadia Batson did backup vocals on that for us. So it was, you know, it was like a come together moment. Everybody was just trying to make it. So and Like Glue. I don't know if you know that song. Stick to me like glue, girl. Just for me, just how I like it.
Sounds familiar.
So yeah. That rhythm is called the panty dropper rhythm. So there was a couple other people on there, but I wrote him a panty dropper on the rhythm, and it was the biggest song. And that was his breakout. That was his crossover into, you know, the now Ricardo Drew. So, yeah.
Well, you enlightened us so much.
I know.
In reference to like the people you work with, your writing skills, even songs that we know now. I mean that transpired before, but Angela, I'm amazed.
You are amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Yeah, just like the Kiss rhythm. That was a major rhythm. You know, they can link me again, definitely on Instagram at Blue Angel Armies, exactly how it sounds. Or search anywhere Soca Artist Miss Diamond. Please support my new single on iTunes, on Spotify, on everything. Support all your soca artists. Support your musicians. Support everybody. It's $1.30. Like, you can't even buy a coffee with that. Support.
And I'm gonna take us out with your song. Okay, start. I'm just gonna continue it from where I think. Thank you guys for joining Table Talk Show with Nikki G. And
thank you, Juliet.
Make sure and click like, subscribe, share. Go to our YouTube page, which is What is it, Juliet?
Table Talk Show _NJ.
Table Talk
Nice,
Show
nice.
.nj. All right.
Oh, was that the email?
Okay.
And that was the email?
Well,
Don't forget, did I say that?
Instagram
No,
is
okay.
underscore. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
and it was nice. So
Nice.
you guys were taking you out with Miss
Yes.
Diamond's music right there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye guys, bye Facebook. We're coming off. Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but oh my God, it's such a pleasure. I really enjoyed our conversation. And
Same
please,
here.
please come back again because I want to show everybody exactly what you're doing because I know
Yeah,
it's going to
Thank
be
you.
Yes.
all right.
Thank you so
Update.
much. So much.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
So that was a full,
Yes.
beautiful interview with Miss Diamond, Angela Weeks. We're going to put all our information down below. And as we said, click, like, subscribe, share. Table Talk Show
Yes.
with Nikki G and
And Juliet. Bye for now.
bye for now. Right there.